Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you a 2 card combo for Orcust that is the same as the 1 card Gearsui and Armageddon Knight combos, but you can do it even if they don't show up and it still be pretty effective. It's also a fantastic combo for going second, because if you go second with it, it allows you to pretty much make your big access code talker while also having a bunch of strong Bystials on board and also being able to get branded regain, which is a fantastic card. But I'm going to show it going first because typically you always want to be going first. So if your hand is an absolutely awful hand, by the way, this has to be, of hard poor and any way to get to a Bystial, then this is the combo. So let's say if you start with the Bystial Rebellion, if you start with another Bystial, it might be a bit harder. You will probably have to depend on your opponent to get a lighter dark engrave. But if you are going first, your opponent doesn't have a lighter dark engrave, and you start with Rebellion, and go Rebellion, discard himself to add. Typically, I just like to add Magnum up. Then you can normal summon your Orcust Harpoor. He does nothing on summon because his effect is from the grave. Then you can special summon your mag by first you would actually summon your mag out. And the reason you would do that is because Bystials only get their quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. So while I control no monsters, my opponent can't respond to my Magnum with their own Bystial. So they can still do stuff like DD Crow, but DD Crow isn't really in the meta as of recent. So you go Magnum target Rebellion. If you don't have a dark or light to banish from your opponent's grave, special Magnum or your own grave, even if you have like an effect veiler in there, or a Ghost Ogre. If you're playing Ghost Ogre, you can banish that instead. So you'll summon Magnum, activate his effect on summon to add a dragon and end phase. You can then normal your Orcust Harpoor. Next you can now, if you want, you can synchro those guys off for your Chaos Angel. But the only problem with that would be, if you do that, I don't believe you will have. Well, it depends. You will have a big body that can protect you from battle. So against something like Tenpai, that can be quite good. But it'll be a double dark Chaos Angel. So it'll be less good than a light dark, which is possible in this deck. But anyway, continuing on, you link those two off. Let's say you link those two off instead for Galatea. But again, that is kind of just showing the options the stack has, that it can just go early into a light dark Chaos Angel. Well, no, a dark Chaos Angel. So you can link those off for Galatea, who is a fantastic card. And then you can go Orcust Harpoor effect. So it'll banish itself to special summon Gearsui, the Orcust Mech Knight from deck. And then his effect on summon will activate, allowing you to discard Orcust Nightmare. So now you can go Orcust Nightmare effect, banishes itself, targeting either Galatea or Gearsui to send World Legacy World Wand. I typically like to send to the grave. Next you can go World Wand effect, target any one of your banished Dark Orcusts. I like typically to target Nightmare only because it has more defense. Special summon it. Then you can go Galatea effect, shuffle back the World Wand because it's a one-of, so you want to shuffle it back to set your Orchestrated Babel if you don't have it. If you do, you can set Orcust Crescendo. Activate the Orchestrated Babel, so all of your Orcust monsters effects and grave are quick effects, and your Link monsters effects are quick effects. Then you can Exi summon into Dingirsu, attaching Orcust Harpoor. And here, because we have 2 guys left over, what I typically like to do is link these two off for the IP Masquerena. And that way, you have a Dingirsu that can protect from any sort of destruction cards. So, say your opponent goes for a Lightning Storm, targeting like spell traps to get rid of your Orchestrated Babel because it's one of your best cards, or a Harpy's Feather Duster. You can detach one from Dingirsu, the Harpor, say, to protect it. Or say your opponent has both Harpy's Feather Duster plus Lightning Storm. You can detach one from Dingirsu to protect from Feather Storm, one from Dingirsu to protect from Lightning Storm. Sorry, Feather Duster and Lightning Storm. And then you can still just go IP Masquerena, use these two to link into either your Longirsu or your SP, depending on the situation. Or, because you were able to get Magnum up, you also have the opportunity to add Druid Swarm and Enphase. So let's say you do that, you can go either SP, or if you have already summoned your Druid Swarm, so say it's something like this, you summon Druid Swarm, you can then go IP, use those two to summon Scareclaw Triheart as well, who, as I said in the last Locals update, is actually surprisingly good when it cannot be destroyed by card effects, because it's unaffected by monster effects when they're in defense position, and he turns all monsters to defense position. So whenever this guy cannot be destroyed, he's very, very powerful. So, and also, you would make it so that Druid Swarm get a targeting send when it's sent to the graveyard. And then you also have the ability to go, alright, Orcust Harpor, banish itself, special summon Girsu, so you don't even need to send necessarily your, you don't even need to specifically send like your other Orcust guy. I can't remember. Other Orcust guy. Bystial Druid Swarm, you might not even necessarily have to send him, because if you just summon out, where is he? I'll leave him out to the side. If you just summon out a Girsu first, you could even just keep your Bystial Druid Swarm on field, and you then get to send Symbol Skeleton. So here you have so much that your opponent just cannot defeat, because he turns everything to defense position, so they can't get over anything by battle unless they're unaffected, such as Tempai. But they're only unaffected under Sandgad summoning during the main phase. So unless they are able to synchro summon without their effects into Transcendent during main 2, or main 1 or main 2, they all just get turned to defense, and they need both Sangan and a way to get to Transcendent through all that. So basically you have, and then you also have your Symbol Skeleton send. So say they do get the Transcendent Dragon, they'll be out of materials pretty much, so you can just summon Dingirsu and send whatever they have left. And if by some miracle they still have something that they can attack you with, you can Orcust Nightmare, banish itself to either send another Harp or just a World Legacy World Wand. So that is basically the combo. And even if you don't want to do it that way, you could potentially, another way to do it would be by using, one second, if you were to say, instead of link off into Galatea, and instead were to go Synchro 10 for Chaos Angel, so that none of your monsters can be destroyed by battle specifically, you basically have the same thing. It's just that instead of getting an IP you would have a Dingirsu plus a Chaos Angel. So you don't have the flexibility of the IP on the end board, which I typically like to have. But you can do it that way, and it's completely viable still. It's just a bit less flexible than the other ways. So thank you for watching, and I'm sorry that this is a shorter video and it came out a bit later. I've been under a lot of, well, I've had a lot of work recently, but I'm hoping to stick to the schedule for Saturday. Hoping to upload on then, and I will be hopefully getting back to regular uploads on Wednesdays and Saturdays next week. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.